Let's go back to the first of the crimes. There is not, as I'm sure you appreciate, just one voiceover way to tackle every script. You should be able to interpret a script to give it the appropriate voice, tone, pitch and color. You should be a vocal chameleon, and you should be able to change mood and character very, very quickly. You're not a voice artist, you're a quick change artist. You know, I once had a session where my first script was a soft, emotional poem, and then I was a Cockney garage owner, followed by a crazy, fast, hard-sell TV commercial. Then I literally had to weep for some poignant script clips as a character for a video game. Then I was asked to put on a daft French accent for a weird infomercial. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but he was very pleased with my accent. What you need to do is, to help you flip character voices faster, as I had to do, is to create voices and put them into compartments. Let's pretend that you're a comedian. You're given your own sketch show on TV. And if you're familiar with this kind of genre, you have to create a series of characters, don't you? Now, I say TV and not radio, because creating the visual part of each character is very important, and it creates a firm anchor in your mind to sustain the voice in your head throughout the script. Now, it doesn't matter if you try to impersonate celebrities and the voice doesn't come out right. In fact, it's better if it doesn't. For example, try to do a classic Terminator Arnie voice, for example. You may fail terribly at sounding like the character himself, but that voice could be very useful to you as a stereotypical German accent or something. So take a snapshot in your head. It's Arnie's picture, it's that voice. Nobody will know that you're trying to do an Arnie but failing. I'm asked to do a lot of old man voices, and my starting point for this voice is me attempting to do the wizard Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. So what you need to do is to list all the voices you can offer your clients. They wouldn't all be your attempts at well-known characters. Some would be moods, some would be accents, and you wouldn't necessarily reveal to your client the inspiration nor the actual names you call them for your own reference. You need to create 20 or 30 of these voices at least and work up more regularly. But you may only need to use 5 main ones regularly, 5 or 6, but it'll give you so much confidence, especially when pitching and auditioning, knowing that you have new characters waiting in the wings ready to take the stage. Now, your mixture of voices could be called casual and friendly, nervous boyfriend, whispered and excited, formal documentary, wise wizard, posh celebrity, hard sales passionate. You see what I mean? It's just a list of things that mean something to you, but don't mean anything to anybody else. Only you would use these personal secret names that would then associate with a voice that you've got stored in your brain. Ideally with an associated picture or a face that will help you anchor in on the sound and style. Now, I go into much more detail in the voice technique section, but here are some script segments. What voice would you give to these? Assuming you just see the script first before looking or asking for guidance on the script from the client. So here are some script examples. The key event for the economic condition of Auschwitz was establishing a military garrison and a post office in 1753. Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's kind of obvious. It's something to do with history. It's a factual script. And basically, this is, I guess, a documentary or a tourism guide. Note the this word before military firing range, right? So you'll know this is the voiceover for a video. Rather than the military, it's this. So in other words, the voiceover is going over a video. Now you need to ask the client about pace and whether the sentences need to fit into an already edited section of visuals. What about this one? And now on Masterpiece Theatre, sleeping is such sweet slumber, brought to you by the world luxury mattress King Coil. Then a section where the actor says something. Wow, it looks a bit Shakespearean, this, doesn't it? Oh, indeed it is. As I lay mine most tired spine to rest upon this mattress, I am overcome. Now this one you'd be told in the brief it's a comedy spoof of a 50s style of soap opera, so your announcer voice would match that at the beginning, and then your actor voice would be in a kind of ham Shakespeare style. That's what they wanted, and that's what they're going to get. But remember, we're just pretending you're seeing these for the first time. So you'll say, oh, it's one of them. And then you'll get confirmation from the client. What about this one? We all possess a remarkable ability. When danger is present, our fight or flight response is triggered. Well, this is a kind of a sense of wonder for this one. It's a science documentary. We all possess a remarkable ability. When danger is present, our fight or flight response is triggered, and your body undergoes a range of physical adaptations which enhance your ability to run faster or fight harder. And again, you would need to know the gaps and the pace here. Sometimes people cut video before they add the voiceover, which personally I think is the wrong way around, but you may need to know the timings, but this should be given on your script. What about this next one? Family. It's what fuels us to create appliances that are innovative yet intuitive. It's what pushes us every day to imagine products that adapt to the changing needs of families everywhere. It's because Whirlpool cares. And so on. So this, to me, when I first saw it, was crying out for a sensitive, dramatic, human, almost mawkish kind of read, which is exactly what the client wanted. Plenty of opportunities for gaps in appropriate places to get the maximum impact, particularly at the end here, because every chore is an act of love. That gap is so important. And maybe you could even try a version with an act of love stretched with a kind of wrung out emotion, because every chore is an act of love. See what I mean? I'm sure you get the idea. This is why it's fun being a voiceover. You can just have fun with all these scripts and maybe come up with ideas that the client hasn't even thought of before in an alternative take. What about this one? The Lotus Grill comes fully operational and easy to use. Oh yes, it's a sales ad. The Lotus Grill comes fully operational and easy to use. Simply unlatch the top, remove the charcoal basket, pop the batteries in, and away you go. To get the Lotus Grill cooking like a dream, simply level some charcoal into the charcoal basket and cover with the lid. Add 2 to 3 capfuls of lighter gel fluid to the bowl, taking care to avoid pouring any down the central hole. And so on. Now, for this one, yes, it is a sales one. I would read this with a big smile on my face, as if I was hungry at a barbecue with sunshine on my face and the aroma of steak on my nose. The middle section needs to be toned down a bit as it's factual and not selling. It tells you how to operate it, and then getting punchier at the end, basically, to make people feel good they've bought the thing. Now, what about this one? There are a number of tools and techniques used to support value management, which can be used to support benefits management, such as cost-benefit analysis, multi-criteria analysis. Oh, flippin' heck, what on earth's this about? Well, it's management training, isn't it? It's full of long words, repeated words, and you'll find, in fact, this is aimed at training top management, sitting in suits, thinking corporate thoughts. So it's not sales at all. It's straight and factual. No selling, no word coloration needed here. It's dry as dust to us, but interesting to them. Let me read the first bit in the style that they actually wanted this in. There are a number of tools and techniques used to support value management, which can also be used to support benefits management, such as cost-benefit analysis, multi-criteria analysis, risk analysis, and stakeholder analysis. A nice list there. We talk about how to deal with various types of lists in the VoiceOver Masterclass. The company's rapid growth has been determined by 7 requirements of success. Now, this is another business one. However, this one is a corporate video. It's aimed at external audience. So you have to have a bit of pride here. The company's rapid growth has been determined by 7 requirements of success, which are the assortment and the production quality, modern business strategy, well-considered education systems, professional management, stable financing, modern management systems, and a tight networkers team. The canyon side entry invites passage across the polished limestone threshold. It's real estate. It's selling a house. So again, a bit of pride here. And quite often these things are read very, very slowly, with long gaps in between, so people can take in the images that are going to be placed with your voiceover. And usually with this type of voiceover, as well as delivering slow with plenty of passion, you colour every word you can. Here's another script. As you can see, the drug produced increased and dose-dependent exposures and prolonged biologic responses as compared to interferon beta-1a. Additionally, both the subcutaneous and intramuscular routes of administration resulted in increased biomarker response compared with interferon beta 1A at every dose evaluated. Well, that's another very straight training one for professionals. It's not selling, it's training. And this time they're not in suits, but in white coats. In medical voiceovers, you'll encounter many words which are unusual for you, but not for the target audience. You'll need to say words like subcutaneous as if you say it as easily as subway, okay? So that's why it's very important to pretend to be an expert.